It is Thursday, May 19th, 5 p.m., just a couple hours away until puck drop of Game 2 between the Tampa Bay Lightning and the Florida Panthers. Welcome back to the In the Box pregame show presented by the Fifth Line 5R crew over at Five Reasons Sports. I'm Alex Baumgartner, joined by Jamie Goldman as always. We're here to preview this Game 2. The Panthers are down in the series right now, 1-0, and another home game. There's still no Brayden Point for Tampa, no lineup changes for Tampa. Florida's got a question mark whether Carter Verhaeghe is playing, but we'll bring you all of that on this show. Jamie, how's it going?
It's going all right. Big Game 2 tonight. I mean, this is a crucial game. I mean, you don't want to go back. You don't want to go to Tampa down 2-0 going to their barn. That can't happen. Carter Verhaeghe is going to be a big factor tonight, whether he's in the lineup or not. He's been the Panthers' firepower. He's been the Panthers' best goal scorer so far in the playoffs. So hopefully he'll be in the lineup. This is it. I mean, Game 1, like the Panthers haven't won a Game 1 since 1996, so maybe we should have expected that they didn't win Game 1, but Game 2 has got to be a different story.
Yeah, Panthers haven't had any Game 1 success. The last time they won, I believe, was against the Rangers. It might have been a first round of 97. Then they didn't win a game after that. So that first win really didn't help them anyways. But, they dropped Game 1 last year to Tampa, dropped Game 1 of Washington this year. They dropped Game 1 of Tampa this year. So the Panthers really haven't won a Game 1 forever. So now that that's out of the way, we said the biggest key to this series is staying out of the box. And I said before we got on last time, Tampa scored 3 times on the power play in Game 1 in 2021. This time, they score 3 times on the power play, and they only score 1 even-strength goal. Now, Tampa, for about 35, 40 minutes of that Game 1, looked outclassed, outmatched by the Panthers, even strength. And even the penalty kill for the Panthers was coming up pretty big until Nikita Kucherov walked Aaron Ekblad and froze Sergei Bobrovsky. That was kind of like the changing point. But a large part of that penalty kill, the Lightning power play succeeded. The Panthers power play had a chance to go up 2-0, and they didn't capitalize once again. Jamie, we can talk about the Tampa power play all we want. Let's talk about this Panthers power play. They're 0 for 21. They haven't scored in 7 playoff games. It's panic button time.
It's time to hit the panic button. I don't know what's wrong because in the regular season, the Panthers had the 5th best power play percentage in the NHL. So they've proven that they can score on the power play. Like, it's not that they can't do it. It's not that they don't have the talent of forwards and defensemen to score goals on the power play. Like, they have players like Jonathan Huberdeau and Alexander Barkov and Claude Giroux that they brought in, and Aaron Ekblad on the backside. Like, they have goal scorers on this team. I don't know what's going on with this power play. I think it's time to just hit the reset button, whether that be putting Hornquist on the first unit, maybe mix in a Forsling or something to light a spark for this power play unit, because what they've been doing so far hasn't been working. I mean, 0 for 21 in 7 playoff games, like you mentioned, that's unacceptable. The fact that the Panthers even won the first round series without scoring a goal on the power play was just unbelievable. And they can't expect that to keep going. So, I mean, I'm sure they're working on it. I'm sure they're experimenting, but it's time. It's time to, like you said, hit the panic button, and it's time to score a power play goal, because if they don't, it could mean the end of the Panthers season.
I'll tell you one thing. I'm tired because the last 6-5 takeaways I've written is that the Panthers can't score on the power play. And if I have to write another one of those tonight, I might just have to tell Easton I'm writing 4 takeaways from now on, because we already know what my 5th takeaway is going to be. You would think the puck somehow accidentally ends up in the net once, right? I mean, I feel like Shane said throw the washing machine on the power play. If you put a washing machine on the power play, it might put the puck in the net. It's astonishing how the puck hasn't found the back of the net yet on power play.
And then even in Game 1, we got teased. Finally Anthony Duclair puts in a power play goal. And yes, it was obviously off the netting, but from a casual viewpoint, from just watching it in real time, you couldn't really tell. And, the horn went off, the building went crazy, and it seemed like finally the monkey was off their back, but sure enough, the play got reviewed, the puck went off the netting, and it wasn't a good goal.
But you know what's funny, Jamie? I'm watching the puck hit the net. I see it hit the net, so then I turn and I look at the TV in the press box because it's like a delay. I'm like, I want to see how that thing hit the net. All of a sudden, let's go. I turn around. I'm like, what just happened? Duke's celebrating. The building's going crazy. I hear sweetness going off. I'm like, the puck definitely went out of play. Like,
I don't know. I mean, I guess we're just getting teased at this point. I don't know. Like, but something needs to change. Something needs to change. Shane said put the washing machine on the power play. I mean, maybe that's what we got to do at this point because what they've been doing hasn't been working. I mean, I wouldn't even be upset if Bruno put some third line guys out there.
I'd put Hornqvist there.
Put Hornqvist out there. Put Lomberg out there. Light a spark. Something.
Frank J. Forte tweeted, good point on NHL radio just now. Last season, Hornqvist led the Cats in power play goals. He played 8 minutes last night total. Now, Horny's not going to play a lot of minutes, but, you know, when Horny's on the power play, that net front presence is there. It's there. Horny's not the skill guy that they have when they run the five forwards. Horny's the guy that will get in the dirty areas, disrupt the defenseman, disrupt the other team's goalie. I think if you put Horny on the power play and you take off Duke or Reinhart or Giroux, one of those three guys, put it on the next unit, put Horny on that first one, the guy's going to be shooting for the sticks a lot more instead of forcing everything to the perimeter, which is what the Panthers do way too often. Perimeter, perimeter, perimeter. Look at the Lightning power play goals. There's shots from the right side into the lane with traffic. That's how you do it.
Yeah, you make a great point there because I saw this for a little tiny sliver of hockey, and it was when they pulled the goalie at the end of, I think it was game 5, might have been game 6 in the Washington series. And you saw them working the puck around the zone and shooting for sticks, shooting for tips and rebounds and stuff like that. Like, if they're going to score on the power play, I think it's going to be a dirty one. Like, they're so focused on and they're so fixated on trying to work the puck around the perimeter and like Huberdeau to Barkov and like set up the perfect one-time goal. And it just hasn't been happening, especially in the playoffs. So it's time to change their game. It's time to, although it works for a lot of the season, I'm not a big fan of the five forwards. I like having a defenseman back there. Yeah. So if I was the coach, I'd put Ekblad on that first unit. I'd put Hornqvist on that first unit in front of the net. That changes the dynamic of the unit right there. That's 2 players inserted out. And then I'd have Ekblad up there, and like the main goal would be to get the puck to the net with tips and rebounds. I don't want them putting it around the perimeter anymore, looking for one-times, looking for the prettiest goal possible. You got to get ugly. You got to get dirty. This is the playoffs.
But the one thing that you really notice a lot is the one time they try and shoot, it's off a ridiculous cross-seam pass, and Barkov's at the top of the circle taking the one-timer. Even if you look at a Stamkos or an Ovechkin, they're rarely ever at the top on the backside of the circle. They're a little bit closer in a perfect shooting lane. Barkov's too far out, and that's the only one-timer they're really looking for. And I don't like that, and they just force way too. And I know we're talking about the power play a lot, but that's the biggest thing. It was a 1-0 game. Even strength, there's nothing to talk about. The Panthers were the better team, even strength. Tampa will tell you that. It's the special teams where you got to look. And I'm not gonna give them any bad luck either. I think it's crazy how they haven't had any bad luck put the puck in the net. But yeah, you're 0 for 21 on the power play. You know, you can't blame anyone but yourselves at that point. It hasn't been working. You need to switch up. What we just suggested, put Patrick Hornqvist there. At least it's a different look. It's not just a different player. He's a different play style. It's a different kind of look in front of the net. The whole power play formation will change when you have a guy screening him. So, you know, I think that's what you got to do.
Yeah, I think put Hornqvist out there on the power play. Like you mentioned, that net front presence. And if anything, he'll get Chippy in there. He's won 2 Stanley Cups. He's been in the playoffs. Like, he's a guy you want out there. And, like, also, you want to make an adjustment. You know, you keep putting the same 5 guys out there. You keep doing the same thing. Definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again. It's not working. So, I mean, I expect a switch, whether it's Hornqvist or someone else.
Or Sam Bennett.
Sam Bennett maybe. I'd expect it to probably be Hornquist just because that makes the most sense.
Yeah.
But if we don't see any kind of adjustment, then that's on coaching. Like Dade said, like you don't get the benefit of the doubt at this point. Like it's on coaching, it's on the players. And I think putting in a Patrick Hornquist, it changes the dynamic of the power play. It changes the play style, and maybe it'll work.
Yeah, and another thing, Tampa's really good at drawing penalties. They're very good at drawing penalties. There's no surprise about it. They talked about it after game one. Bruno said, they're pretty good at selling it. Maybe we need to start selling it too. So I don't know. The Panthers were a little undisciplined last game. 2 high sticks. Yeah. So yeah, just look out for the Panthers penalty kill today because they're gonna have another big job on their plate because Tampa's still gonna get their calls, and I'm not saying that they're drawing them. Like the calls are there. It's 2 high sticks. It's a hook. It's a puck over the glass. The calls are gonna happen when you play in like that. So you got to shut it down on penalty kill, and then you got to do something on the power play.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned that the Tampa Bay Lightning are very good at drawing penalties, and in that game, you saw that. You saw that in game one. Like I don't know how many power plays the Lightning had, but I think it was 3 or 4, maybe even 5. But then at the end of the game, Kucherov scores that goal to put the Lightning up 3-1. And then you had Brunette challenge the call. So a lot of people thought it was goalie interference, and like you could maybe make a case for it.
It looked a little bit like it after the replay.
It looked like he grazed Bob's face in front of the net, and you could maybe call that as interference. But from my point of view, I didn't like that Bruno challenged that call.
I know why he did it. I didn't even think there was goaltender interference there. I thought they were throwing it out there for a prayer. Then I actually saw the head move, and I'm like, oh, they have a case. I think they knew they weren't going to beat Tampa if it was a 2-goal game at that point.
In my opinion, it was kind of almost a panic move from Brunette. I mean, you go down 3-1, Kucherov scores that power play goal, and there's about 5 minutes left on the clock, and
there was less than 5 minutes because
there was less than 5, but there was more than 4.
No, because Forsling took the penalty with 4:30 something left. So I think there was about 2:40 left on the clock or 3 because I remember calculating it. It wasn't that much time.
I could be wrong, but I don't know why I had a vivid number in my head that there was 4:46 left in that game.
I think that's when 4:46 when Forsling took the penalty.
That could be it. That could be what I remember. Yeah. But still, I think you have so let's say it was 4:46. Then Tampa scored on that power play within the first 2 minutes. So that leaves you about 3-4 minutes of even strength time to try and score 2 goals. I would just take that as it is and try to, make a late push to tie that game. Because by challenging the call, you put Tampa back on the power play and you kind of surrender the game at that point. You put Tampa back on the power play. You're killing a penalty for the last, let's say there's 3.5 minutes. 2 of those minutes.
There's 4 minutes left. They scored with 4:06 left. So there was 4 minutes
4:06 left. So, I mean, in my opinion, you try to make a push 5-on-5. I think it was a little bit of a weak challenge there. It didn't look like goal interference from a live viewpoint from there. You looked at the replay and maybe
I will give the staff credit because when I watched it the second time and you see the goalie's head move and he's in his crease, I've seen that get called back a lot. Now, I had a very good feeling that wasn't getting called back.
Yeah.
But I've definitely seen that one get called. I mean, I've seen worse get called back. But the Panthers had the play in 35, 40 minutes of the game. Andrei Vasilevskiy kept that team in the game when it was even strength. Because there was multiple times where the Panthers were in alone, and that guy showed why he's a Vezina winner, a 2-time Cup winner, and why he hasn't lost an elimination game in 3 years. If Vasilevskiy, they have to crack the Vasilevskiy code even strength.
Yeah, that's what's so that's what's so disappointing from a Panthers perspective too, because like you said, 5-on-5, the Panthers were the better team. The Panthers were getting opportunities. They had zone time. They were getting a lot of shots, and Vasilevskiy shuts the door. You got that first one early from Duke, but other than that, there was no goal scored for the Panthers, and it's not like Tampa was out there dominating play. That wasn't the case. It was, if anything, Florida was the better team out there. So I really I liked the way the Panthers played for the majority of that game. And then, you took some penalties late, and then they kind of just got away from you. But from an even strength perspective, the Panthers look good. I mean, cracking Vasilevsky is going to be a big test, and they're going to have to start putting in some goals. But the pressure was there, so the pressure continues to be there. That's a recipe for success. And then the things that they need to hunker down on is taking less penalties and scoring goals on the power play. Special teams and cracking Vasilevsky, keys to the game tonight from Goldie. There you go.
Yeah, that penalty kill wasn't even terrible besides that first Kucherov goal. After Bob just kept getting peppered, and then the screens, that's when it hit 3-1, and then the 4-1 was just a deflating. They were out of it anyways. The power play, the penalty kill actually was trapping the Lightning for a large portion of the first 30 minutes of the game. So they got to do that again because Tampa's going to get power plays. They're not going to not have a power play tonight. They're going to get 3. They're going to get 4, right? Another thing, limit the amount of times, not limit, increase the amount of times you get a puck on the pad and you increase. We love POPs in hockey. Crash the net. Generate some traffic in front of Vasilevsky because he's not the goalie that you're going to be able to snipe 4 or 5 times from the top of the circle. This isn't a, middle of the pack NHL goalie. This is one of the 2 best goalies, if not the best goalie in the world. And he has been for the last 3 years. You're going to have to get some momentum in front of him, generate some traffic. You're going to score the dirty ones. That's how you're going to win this game. It's going to be dirty goals. Dirty in front, just quick pucks on pads, stuff like that.
Yeah, this is the playoffs. I mean, we're not going to be seeing walk in, dangle the defenseman, snipe.
Unless you're Kucherov.
Unless you're Kucherov. It'll happen from time to time. But the majority of goals that are going to be scored are, dirty ones, like we keep talking about. We talked about the power play and how they're going to have to get dirty on there. And, it's the same thing is true for 5-on-5. You talked about Vasilevsky. I think he's the best goalie in the world. You can argue Shesterkin, but
no, I'm still taking Vasilevsky.
I'm taking Vasilevsky, especially what he's done in the playoffs and what he's done when his back's against the wall in elimination games. So, cracking Vasilevsky, you look at his success. The Panthers aren't the only team that has trouble with Vasilevsky, But
they cracked the code last series. They lit him up last series. So.
Are you referring to last series as in
last year's series?
Yeah,
sort of lit them up.
Yeah, even in that Game 3 win, I think what was it, 6-5? That's a lot of goals.
Game 1 it was 5-4, and then it was a 6-5, and then there was a couple games in the regular season too. They were lighting them up, so they can score on Vasilevsky. It's just, can you do it in the playoffs now? Can you consistently do it?
The Panthers are just going to have to tighten up. I think they need to simplify their game. I say this, I feel on every single stream, but I feel they're overthinking it. They're trying to be too cute in their zone entries. They're trying to be way too cute on the power play. Get shots to the net, get pucks in deep, get guys crashing the net, and get in there and get some dirty goals.
Look, I felt a lot better about their game, that Game 1, than I did in the Washington Game 1. It's just the problem is just spitting at you in the face. It's you can't score on the power play, and then Tampa's going to score on their power play. It's a special team series. It's if you can't compete, I'm not going to say you're going to win the special teams battle, but if you can't compete on an equal playing field at some sorts, if they score 3, you should probably try and score 2, right?
Yeah,
that's fairly even because you're the better even strength team on paper. You're the better even strength team. They look like the better team even strength 5-on-5. It's just you can't lose the special teams battles.
Yeah,
every single game.
Special teams battle is going to be so important. It kind of reminds me of the 3-point shot in the NBA because you watched it in the Heat Sixers series the last series, and if the Heat weren't hitting their threes, they're not going to win the game no matter how well they're playing. Same thing is true for the special teams in the NHL. You're not scoring power play goals. The other team's scoring power play goals. You can't compete no matter how good you're playing. And you saw that in Game 1 because the Panthers, for 35, 40 minutes of that game, they controlled pace of play. They had more shots on goal. They looked like the better team. But then the special teams come and the Lightning score a couple power play goals. The Panthers can't score on their power play, and there you have it. The Lightning win 4-1 just because of special teams.
And the same thing's going to happen tonight if they can't figure it out.
Yeah, so there you have it. I mean, the key to tonight's game, score on the power play, limit the amount of power plays the Lightning get, and when they do get power play opportunities, go out there and penalty kill to the best of your ability.
Look, this pre-show isn't preaching anything out of the ordinary. We usually go a little bit more in depth, like this guy has to do this guy has to do that, this adjustment has to be made. It's one thing. Special teams, stay out of the box. I mean, they haven't listened. The show is in the box. They still haven't listened. Score when the Lightning are in the box, because the Lightning will take their penalties. That's it.
That's it. That's it.
You win the game.
It's not rocket science. It's nothing off the walls here. I mean, special teams. There you have it. Penalty kill, power play. It's not like they're not getting opportunities. They've had 21 power plays in this playoff so far. Like, they're getting opportunities. Shoot the puck. Crash the net. I mean,
hashtag letter Kenny.
Hashtag letter Kenny.
Oh. All right. It's 5:20. I don't think I have anything else to say, Jamie.
That's about it. I mean, keep it simple. Get the puck to the net. Capitalize on special teams.
Pucks in deep. Pucks on net. Score on the power play. Those are your keys presented by 5 Reasons, Fifth Line 5 Archer. That's basically all we have to say. Like, it wasn't a bad game, but they couldn't score on the power play, and then the Lightning lit them up on the power play. Win the special teams battle. Yeah, Shorzy, the Shorzy show. I just saw a couple clips from that too. But we'll catch you guys next time. There's really nothing for us else to say. I don't know if Manny wants to say anything. They're probably singing at the arena right now, so he probably can't even hear anything. But yeah, puck drops at 7 p.m. Power play. That's it. We'll see you guys next time.